but train yourself separately from pranayama. So today we will start with that. We have done it once before, I think. But the way I would do it is, watch me. I go to the wall, bend the knees, support myself. So I'm resting with my pelvis on the wall. I'm bending forward. But using my arms, I prop my chest up more. Tuck the pelvis as strongly as you can. Tuck, meaning draw the tailbone away from the wall. And then start engaging from the very bottom of the body. Right now, I'm not engaging. When I engage, I will tuck very strongly, exhale, and then draw all this part up from here. Inhale, exhale, tuck, and draw. When you join like that, try and hold it for a count of 6 to 8, depending on your capacity. So go ahead and stand. Those of you who are used to it need not take the wall support. Bending the knees, prop yourself. Take 2, 3 comfortable breaths. And then exhale completely. At the end of the exhalation, tuck very strongly. And then draw the whole area up, starting from the very bottom of the pelvic floor. Lift it up and back. And after a count of 6 to 8, when you want to breathe, release that grip. Okay. Come and watch. Andrea, do. See, this part of the lumbar that we normally want to have concave, in this learning, don't make it concave. Lift it up. Yes, tuck. Then draw the abdominal cavity. Some of you are dropping this. Don't drop that in Uddiyana and Nauli. Try again. No, don't try. Do it. After tucking, have a sense of drawing the navel back and then up. All right, release. I would like you to do it again. This time, make very sure that you're not tensing any of the facial muscles. Don't tense your eyes, ears, and tongue also. So what I'm saying is, in doing Uddiyana bandha, don't include Jalanda bandha in it. Although you're bringing your chin down, don't do anything with the facial muscles. And repeat. Soft eyes, ears, tongue, throat. Same thing, except I'm now going to try and take the abdominal cavity in, but bring my left side out this way. So I put a little more weight on the left side, on my left leg. And again on the right side.
Ramanand.
My left side is not as good as the right. because of the surgery I had even a year ago. So it takes time to recover. Plus, Andrea just fed me breakfast, so I don't want to throw up. Now go ahead and lie down and do the same thing in lying down position, where you want to keep your feet lifted, feet on the wall. So lying down this way, I again inhale, exhale. After exhaling, I tuck a little more, so lift the pelvis up a little, and then try and engage the same thing. First part, where you bring it in, up towards the head, and then count 6 to 8. Again, second time.
When you tuck and lift your
Lift the pelvis, yes. As you tuck, the pelvis is lifted up. Then engage the Uddiyana bandha, hold it, count 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and release. Take 2 or 3 breaths and repeat again. Again, take 2 or 3 normal breaths. Relax completely and go for the third time. Release. One more, last time. 2, 3 normal breaths. And then engage one more time. Maybe you are too far from the wall, which means it's difficult to lift the pelvis up. Stay closer to the wall. All right, relax a little. You're going to do it one more time, little differently. All this time I've been asking you to exhale and engage the Uddiyana bandha. Now, listen carefully. You would inhale, engage the Uddiyana bandha, but make sure there's no pressure in your ears, in the tongue, in the eyes. That kind of engaging of the Uddiyana bandha is done with inhalation to lift the clavicle area up more. Clavicle or more pectoral area is lifted. You are now engaging the Uddiyana bandha to lift the pectoral area more. Without that, that lift is not complete. If I engage my pectoral area at the end of an inhalation, the engagement is more on the surface of the pectoral. It is not deep into the chest. By doing Uddiyana bandha, you are bringing that action very much deeper into the chest. Pectoral area is generally on the sides. Now you are lifting in between the sides, in the center also. Okay, repeat that couple of times. In between, take normal breaths. So now instead of exhaling and holding Uddiyana bandha, you are inhaling and holding. Fabian, also you are lying too far away from the wall. Your thigh should be parallel to the wall, shin parallel to the floor. Otherwise, your ability to lift the pelvis is very limited. Okay, stay in that position, lie down completely, take normal breathing. Doesn't matter that your head is supported. Take normal inhalation and exhalation. See that on inhalation, the brain releases in, on exhalation, the brain releases out. Continuing that, but now begin little more of pranayamic movement, which is you inhale, at the end of the inhalation, lift the pectoral area away from the wall towards your chin, hold that for 2, 3, 4 seconds, and exhale from the abdominal area. The lifted part of the pectoral area is the last one to go. In fact, my teacher would insist, don't drop the pectoral area at all. Not that you don't drop, everybody would drop at the end of the exhalation, but until the end of the exhalation, try and hold it up. So on inhalation, you are filling the chest from the bottom to the top. On exhalation, you are not emptying from the top to the bottom, you're emptying from the bottom. Now, I would like you to sense the difference between doing it like this, as you are now doing, and how much more the center of the chest is lifted if you engage the Uddiyana bandha. So, inhale, exhale. At the end of the exhalation, tuck the pelvis, engage the Uddiyana bandha, and see that that lift that you get in the chest is not just on the sides of the pectoral area, but it is in between the pectoral areas in the center of the chest. Difference between what you just did lying down and in seated position is that I don't want to overly tuck my pelvis here. I'm seated in Bandha Konasana, as it were. I will go to my usual posture for pranayama. You need not do that. You can sit in whatever posture you generally sit in for pranayama. But here, while I engage the Uddiyana bandha at the end of the inhalation, I do not do it by tucking the pelvis. I learned that engaging of the Uddiyana bandha separately, like you just did. Now in this position, I take an inhalation. At the end of the inhalation, I engage the Uddiyana bandha, and I want to have that clear sense that at first I inhale, at the end of the inhalation, I engage the pectoral area more strongly, lifting it up. But then when I engage the Uddiyana bandha, there is much more a central lift, an inner lift, as it were, of that pectoral area. Pectoral muscle is here on the side. That is first lifted up. But then when I engage the Uddiyana bandha, the lift is much more in the middle and into the inside of the chest, almost like a lifting at the back of your throat. And to help that, drop your chin down. But do not drop the chin down to stretch the back of the neck. Drop the chin down like you're releasing the whole neck forward towards the throat. At the end of each exhalation, take 2 or 3 normal breaths before you take the second cycle of pranayama. All other techniques you are familiar with and still apply. Brain releases in on inhalation. As you are holding inhalation, retention, that sensation continues inwards. On exhalation, the brain releases outwards. Eyes, ears, tongue, throat soft. None of what we have done today should increase any sense of pressure in your ears, in your tongue, in the root of the tongue, and in the eyes. If that happens, you are forcing too much muscular. In the lying down position, you were tucking. In that tucking, you are automatically engaging the Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha already begins with that. Then as you take the Uddiyana Bandha this way, automatically Jalandhar Bandha begins. So now in seated position, you want to do that without tucking. Inhalation still touches the outer corners of the middle gate of the nostril. Exhalation touches the center of the septum. And if you are very well experienced with this, you can take one cycle of the breath after the other of pranayama. If you are not experienced with this, it's perfectly okay to take one cycle and then take 2 or 3 normal breaths in between. So that you keep your eyes, ears, and tongue particularly relaxed. It's like a story which has several chapters. And while you know the general story, what would happen in the last chapter, pay much more attention to the first chapter. Open the eyes and look. This is the base of my neck. See, all around in the front as well as in the back. Next 4 or 5 minutes, the only thing I want you to focus on is, as you inhale, the neck, base of the neck should soften as though the neck is dropping into the chest. When you inhale, the base of the neck drops into the chest. On exhalation, it is not lifted up. On next inhalation, it drops even more into the chest, as though the neck is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, descending into that. The chest is rising around the neck with each inhalation. On exhalation, even though the chest might drop, the neck continues to have that sense of being relaxed into the chest. Not just in the front, it's easy. I want you to watch that in the back of the neck also. 4 minutes. Soften the base of the neck completely. Generally, for Shavasana, we take whatever it is we have been emphasizing in either asana practice or pranayama practice and try and feel that in Shavasana. You can't do that with these bandhas. Okay? Don't engage in Shavasana, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, or Jalandhar Bandha. You may, if you like, lie down symmetrically, engage these bandhas once or twice, but then relax. Don't consciously keep engaging. But what I do want you to pay attention to is this base of the neck softens much, 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 much more in Shavasana. For some people, it may be necessary to support the neck rather than the back of the skull in Shavasana. You can try either way. Lie down for Shavasana.